So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Father's Day weekend, and we're so excited. We have wonderful, wonderful people on the show. We have one huge guest. This gentleman is a good friend of mine. He's also, you've seen him on Cobra Kai. You've seen him all over the world. He's also the man, Deacon Sharp, on Bold and the Beautiful, as well as General Hospital. He's my good friend. He has his hot sauce as well. Give it up for the man, Mr. Sean Kanan. He's going to be talking about And then we have a gentleman who is, he's part of a foundation called Sleep is for Billionaires. And this gentleman, he's a gentleman that just loves doing all of these wonderful things in business, media, artist. He's also a producer. You don't want to miss this gentleman the first time on the Sherrod Show. Shayanne Andujar, give it up to him as well. And then we have the man, we're going to be showing the footage as well in a movie back in 1995. Remember the film Casino? Yeah. Well, we have a gentleman, he was the one that had the privilege of taking the bat to Joe Pesci, ladies and gentlemen. And he's going to be here talking about his experience, as well as he was in Twin Peaks as well. So we're so excited to have him. Mr. Jed Mills, give it up for him as well. And we have a young lady who's absolutely hilarious, and she's going to be making us laugh. She actually was a politician, and now she's also doing political jokes. You don't want to miss her. The lovely Leah Wyman on the Sherrod Show. We can't wait to have her. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited for you all because it's our new location. I'm so excited. We have the gentleman who sponsored this location, and we're so happy, Mr. Tony B. Jenkins. I know it's kind of warm in here, but it's going to cool off. Don't worry, it's going to cool off. And it's going to be here. But I thank you so much, Mr. Tony B. Jenkins, for us. This lovely location here in Northridge. Isn't it nice, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Well, we oftentimes, this is Father's Day weekend, and I'm so excited because, being a father is a wonderful thing. But I get letters oftentimes from young ladies who, she's dating a gentleman who is a father, but she's been with him for about 5 months now. And she wants to know if he's a stud or if he's a dud. So I told her I'll give you 5 reasons to find out if he's either a stud or a dud. This may help you all. You all want to hear this?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The 5 points is brought to you by my Sherrod Show magazine. This magazine is currently brought to you by the 5 points. Now, the lovely Ilfanish Hadera, she is currently on The Godfather of Harlem. She's on the cover of the Sherrod Show magazine. Make sure you check it out. There's some incredible articles there and wonderful things going on the Sherrod Show magazine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the 5 points. Point number 1, he is a stud if he wants to take you out to a wonderful dinner and treat you like a lady. Don't you think he's a stud? I'm saying he's a stud, right? He is a dud, however, if he takes you out for dinner and he's the one that want to make you pay. It's a dud, right? Is it a dud? Okay. He is a stud if he wants to take you to his parents' house so you can meet the family and see what kind of guy he really is, right? Don't you think so, ladies? He is a dud if he wants to take you to meet his baby mama and other baby mamas and you mess around and fight them all. That's a dud, right? That happened to you, Julie? Point number 3, he is a stud when he opens the door for you and drops his coat so you can walk over a puddle. He's a stud, right? Yeah. That's a stud, amen? Huh? What you say, Shane?
He's a mythical creature.
But he is a dud, ladies and gentlemen, if he sees a puddle of water and he pushes you in it. That's a dud. I'll bring him home, Mom. Point number 4, he is a stud when he wants to put you on his private jet to take you all across the world, right? That's a stud. He is a dud, however, if he wants to push you around the yard in his Hot Wheels jet. Joe? All right. And my final point, ladies, you got to pay attention to this. He is a stud if he want to romance you and take you to trips around the world while playing some Brian McKnight, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a stud. You take him out. But he is a dud if he wants to take you out to Fat Burger and make you pay for his kids and his baby mama's kids. That's a dud, ladies and gentlemen, right? Can I get a round of applause? This is courtesy of Joyce. Joyce wanted to know this, so Joyce, I hope this help answer that. If you got a stud or you got a dud. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, you know him from Cobra Kai. He's one of the biggest stars. He also has his hot sauce. He's been doing it for many years. My friend, Mr. Sean Kanan, will be right here right after this commercial break.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune. If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
Call 855-815-9786. That's 855-815-9786. Again, 855-815-9786.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday afternoon. I'm so excited for the guest that's coming up on the show. All of the guests this Saturday that stopped by to take a moment to be on the Sherrod Show, as well as you beautiful audience members. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman has frequent on the Sherrod Show. He's a really good friend of mine. You know him as A.J. Quartermain on General Hospital, but also as Deacon Sharp on Bold and Beautiful. But I know him as Mr. Mike Barnes from Karate Kid 3, as well as on Cobra Kai. He also has a wonderful hot sauce, a book that's coming out. The man himself, Mr. Sean Kanan on the Sherrod Show. Give him a round of applause. Awesome, Sean. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, Sean. You know, Sean, you're a very busy man.
I got 5 kids. I got to be busy. Pay the bills.
Now, Sean, you've been doing it for so long. Tell us a little bit about the audience. What keeps you going and so relevant after 25 plus years in the industry?
I think probably the most important thing is that I'm just as passionate today about what I do as when I first started. And I do a lot of different things. I write, I produce, I have my hot sauce. So I think each of those satisfies a different part of me that keeps me interested.
You know, Sean, you're a fan favorite as A.J. Quartermain for those soap opera lovers. How many of you all love soap operas? Now, was it Bold and the Beautiful first or Karate Kid 3?
No, it was Karate Kid 3. That was in 1988 I filmed that. And then I started Bold and Beautiful in 2000. This is actually my 25th year since I started playing the role of Deacon Sharp on the Bold and Beautiful.
Give me a round of applause. Why my goodness. Now, Sean, a lot of people feel that nobody ever gets killed in a soap opera. Is that what happens?
No, a lot of people get killed. They just come back. Usually as their twin brother or something like that.
That never happens.
No, it is not.
now, Sean, you know, you've been very busy with Cobra Kai. So many fans, young people out here absolutely love that show, including myself. What did that do for you when Cobra Kai came?
Well, you know, as an actor, it's not very often that you get another bite at the apple 35 years later to reprise a role. And, you know, when the show started, it was on YouTube Red, and it was like, it had a small following. And then when it went to Netflix, it became this worldwide sensation. So for me, you know, it was like stepping into playing for a winning baseball team, you know? It was incredible. It was wonderful to be able to reprise the role as a guy that has now been acting for 35 years, you know, with a lot more tools in the toolbox. When I did Karate Kid 3, I just started acting. I was 22 years old, and now 35 years down the road, I've done a couple thousand episodes of network television. I've done 25 films, blah, blah, blah. So I was able to bring a lot more to it, I think, in a different way than I originally did.
You know, but the audience that watched Karate Kid back in 1989 when it came out is quite different from the audience that's watching Cobra Kai.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny, you know, a lot of kids who love Cobra Kai weren't really even aware that the source material came from, you know, the Karate Kid trilogy. And they've gone back and watched the film subsequent to seeing Cobra Kai. And, you know, I've always said that Cobra Kai is kind of like a force for good. And by that I mean, you know, when you have that generation gap between parents and their kids, when they can't seem to talk to each other, Cobra Kai is like this unifying factor where the parents like it for the nostalgic value and the kids like it, because they're discovering something new. And for that hour on TV, they can be united in both liking something together.
It's amazing though, with Cobra Kai, Sean, people feel, and they've asked me this all the time when you've done a show, they said, ask Sean, did you really enjoy whooping LaRusso in Karate Kid 3? Because it seemed like you enjoyed it too much with that. Now, is that a truism, or that was just great acting?
I'd like to think it was great acting. I think Ralph Macchio is a terrific guy, so it was a lot of fun. And when I was a kid, I actually experienced a lot of bullying. And it was ironic that years later I would grow up to play this iconic bully. And probably on some level I was able to excise a lot of the feelings that I had about it through that role. So I think that's probably some of what helped me play that character with that level of authenticity.
You were bullied?
Oh yeah, I was, for sure. Yeah, very
Who
much.
would bully this guy? See, people don't know about Sean. He really knows martial arts.
Yeah, I've studied martial arts since I was about 15 years old. So this was before that.
That's amazing. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to talk about his hot sauce, his book, and we got an interesting clip we're going to show you of Cobra Kai. I'm sure. We'll be right back.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. Call the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. U.S. Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. U.S. Med. Better service. Better care.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod, for our Saturday conversation with the man himself, Mr. Sean Kanan, on the Sherrod Show. On our last segment, we were talking about you enjoying whooping Ralph Macchio. Or like,
No, you said that.
I said that, but it does look like it so much with his great acting. And we're going to show a clip of that momentarily. But the thing that's really cool is that not only were you known on the camera or the big screen as the bad boy, but you also have bad boy hots.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So for a really long time, I've wanted to get into the food product industry. I was really moved by Paul Newman's company called Newman's Own, where they give all of the proceeds to charitable endeavors. And I was really inspired by that, and I decided I wanted to do something like that as well. I'm also a foodie. My first book was a cookbook. And Bad Boy Karate, it seemed like a pretty good name for it. And so this is the first product from our company called Bad Boy Eats, and we're going to be rolling out a great line of popcorn soon, and it's delicious.
Oh my goodness. Now where can they purchase it? Because I know there's a lot of hungry people in the audience.
Right now, a lot of it is being sold directly on our website, which is badboyeats.com, but it's also in various brick and mortar stores across the country.
Give me a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Also, has an incredible book called Way of the Cobra Couples. Now, this is, tell us a little bit about your book.
So this is the third in the Way of the Cobra trilogy. Cobra is an acronym. It's formed from the words character, optimization, balance, respect, and abundance. And the first two books were really successful. And so I knew I wanted to collaborate with my wife on something. Michelle is a phenomenal writer. And we said, what if we take all the strategies and philosophy from the first two books and we applied them to relationships? And so my wife is the co-author of the book. And there was this interesting study done where they asked some really successful people. They said, what is the single biggest factor you attribute to your success? So when you think about that, you think maybe an Ivy League education, right? That would definitely be a force multiplier. It's not that. Maybe it's generational wealth, being born into a lot of money. That's not it either. Maybe it's just waking up at 4 in the morning and grinding. Well, if that was true, then everybody who works double shifts would be multimillionaires. The single biggest thing they attribute to their success is their choice of partner. And, you know, a lot of people spend a lot of wasted time looking for either the wrong person for them or perpetuating relationships that they kind of know aren't going to be the one. And so our book cuts through and tells you how to find the right one, whether you're single or in a relationship and you're looking to turbocharge it, take it to the next level.
I think he needs a round. You're a bad man on screen and off screen, Sean. I'm telling you. Now, where can they purchase this book as well?
You can get the book on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, or if you'd like an autographed copy, you can get it at wayofthecobra.com. But I have copies for every member of your audience here.
But Sean, I'm not going to let you off the hook. We're going to roll a clip of you in Cobra Kai. This is very interesting. This is a clip where it's introducing Sean back to Cobra Kai, and it was amazing. And I got to ask you a question. Was it you doing these stunts yourself?
I did a lot of my stunts. Myself, Billy, and Ralph all have stunt doubles to save time, because a lot of times I would do a fight with Billy's stunt double, then he would do a fight with my stunt double, then we would fight each other, and then they cut it up. So I did have some pretty terrific stunt guys.
Let's check it out.
The left side, like
I
you
see how
like
it is. Just watch this one.
Chosen, no!
They show no mercy. We show them no mercy.
No, you don't understand.
What do you mean?
Chosen! Guys, stop! Guys, whoa! Stop! Just stop!
Give me a round of applause. John, I know you have a wonderful, I know you have so many fans. There's a lot of beautiful young people here that just absolutely love you, but they probably want to know where they can reach out to you and stay connected with what you got coming.
You know, I really try and stay connected with people on social media. You can reach me at Sean.Kanan on Instagram and at Sean Kanan on X.
Sean, thank you so much for stopping by. Absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen, the man Sean Kanan. He always drops everything to be here on the Sherrod Show, and I'm always going to support him. Humongous fan. We thank you so much. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to have Shayanne stopping by the Sherrod Show to talk about what got him started to be a serial entrepreneur. I'm Sherrod. We'll be right back.
Can your IRA stand up to the next financial crisis that our top economists are saying is at our doorsteps? By allocating a percentage of your IRA into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns by putting your IRA back on the gold standard. Find out how to safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report. Protect your IRA today with one simple phone call and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. Call Genesis Gold Group, empowering faith-driven stewardship.
Call 877-588-0992. That's 877-588-0992. Again, 877-588-0992.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod. Had a wonderful Saturday conversation with the man himself, Mr. Sean Kanan. Did you enjoy, Sean? Make sure you get his book as well as his hot sauce. It will knock you out. And then also I'll keep you updates on what Sean has upcoming as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman who is about to come out, he is a serial entrepreneur. He's an artist. He's a producer. He's been on many films. And also, here's a philosophy that sleep is for the billionaires, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Mr. Shayanne Andujar. Welcome. good. Good to see you. Come on, have a seat.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's an honor having you as well, Shayanne. First time on the show. Now, Shayanne, you have a very interesting story because you've been doing it. First of all, you're from the Bronx in New York.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Family originally from the Dominican Republic, but I was born in the Bronx. Yes.
Okay. Now, you've been with a lot of people that really inspired you. But who was the main person that got you inspired to become a serial entrepreneur?
Honestly, my mother. Just seeing her like struggle and just try to, work multiple jobs to keep me and my sister fed. My stepdad was there as well. But just seeing that and wanting her to put her in a position where she doesn't have to work anymore kind of motivated me to do more than what I was doing at the time, right? So once, entrepreneurialism became a thing, then I was like, you know what, I need to be in this, and figuring out the niche that I wanted to start with, which was initially music and then became sales, and then I just grew into other things, just put me in a position where I'm at today.
That's amazing though, Shayanne, because you've delved into acting as well as music, and then also in media. Which one of those you enjoy the most doing?
Honestly, I enjoy all of it, man, because it's a different part of me that I'm sharing with the world, and like with my music, it's different because I rap in English and Spanish, but there's certain messages that are delivered by other guests on my show, which is Sleep is for Billionaires, that's the media side, that won't come from me. So I'm able to share their gifts with the world as well.
So now you're Dominican, so your first language is Spanish?
My first language is English. I learned Spanish by getting whooped by my grandmother because she would curse me out in Spanish, right?
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
So now what led you to moving to LA?
Honestly, chasing the dream, prior to entertainment, I've been in sales my whole life. That was actually my investor of my dream, right? Having those sales jobs and then putting some of that paycheck into my music, into my acting and all that stuff, right? So when I fired my last job, I was like, you know what? If I get another job here in Florida, I'm going to stay in Florida. And I had reached a cap on my success in entertainment in Florida because there's not a big media hub there. So I knew I had to take a chance, and I met my now fiance at the time, during the time that I was going to transition from Florida to LA, and she decided to go on a ride with me. So we came here together. We've been together 9 years strong, and wouldn't change that decision for the world.
Give them a round of applause, everybody.
She's taking a nap because we're going salsa dancing tonight. So
Oh, really?
She got to get those legs ready.
Yeah, we actually got footage of you salsa dance. No, I'm joking.
Oh, that's
So now, when you get here, there's a saying that says, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
That's true.
Now, when you came here to LA, was it a tough hustle, or was it something that things kind of started clicking right away?
Well, I didn't just come straight from New York. I went from New York to New Jersey. I actually attended that school. You ever seen the movie Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman? So I went to that high school, right? And then when the Twin Towers fell, that's when me and my family migrated to Tampa, Florida. So I was there for 12 years. That's really where my sales career began. And then I transitioned
it was still
to LA.
way
So I
too
kind
hot
of
for
went
me to
from
even go near
rough
Phoenix.
neighborhoods
So
to
I set
kind
up
of
a
relaxed
meeting with the
neighborhoods. So
guy
I
way
kind
out
of,
in the sticks.
I
I
seen
didn't
both
want my
sides of
brother
the
to
fence.
get
So when I came to LA, I was
what's
already,
right is right. They don't give a
mentally prepared for this endeavor that I was embarking on. So yeah, and then at that time I had released an album titled Sleep is for Billionaires. So when I got to LA, I was thinking, what is the fastest way that I can build a network and really get this thing going? So at that time, podcasts were a thing. So I was like, okay, well, what am I going to title it? And I already had the Sleep is for Billionaires thing going. So I was like, okay, let me title it Sleep is for Billionaires and just bring people to me. So then I just started doing an outreach myself to different, entrepreneurs and celebrities, and they just started coming on, and now we're 150 episodes in. And all that same network of guests became my friends, and now most of them are my business partners.
Very good, very good. Now, for those who are watching, what is it that you do for people who have podcasts, people who are trying to start a business? What is your services you offer?
Well, as of right now, I'm an agent, so I work in real estate, I work in film, and I work in music. So specifically in the film side, I help films raise money to get made, and then I help films that are already made get sold. And then in the music side, I represent more of like established artists because it's easier to leverage their celebrity with brands and close the deal faster. So I help, get them booked. And then on the real estate side, I'm on a team and we help owners buy and sell real estate.
Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back. We're going to have a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get the details about financing films, as well as maybe him helping your film to be able to come to Netflix or whatever. I'm sure Art will be right back right after this.
I'm wearing rah-rahs. What are you wearing?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod, for our Saturday conversation with the man himself, Mr. Shayanne Andujar, all the way from the Dominican. And we're going to have him talk some Spanish to us. People from the Dominican, they love that. But before we continue on, there's some special guests that are in the audience. We have the lovely Dean and Stephanie that are sitting in our audience, as well as the man himself, Mr. Victor Orlando. We're so excited. Give him a round of applause. And then also the man himself, Mr. Shane McLean. Boy, I tell you, if ever I was going to start a Western, he would be the star. That's a Western name, Shane McLean. So now, Shayanne, for those, there's a lot of people who need funding for their films.
Right.
A lot of people who, this is magical to them. But what is the qualifications for getting financing, or are you lending to them to finance their films?
You just have to have more than an idea, right? You have to have some actors attached to it, maybe have the tax credits already in place, have some minimum guarantees from the film distribution companies, all that just puts you ahead of the line as opposed to someone who just has a deck, you know what I'm saying? So having that gives you a lot of leverage in the conversation. Like if you have a A-list actor, that's more enticing to an investor to get their money back because of that, the popularity of that particular actor. So having those elements in place helps.
Now, what about investing? If someone has a film and they say, you know what, my credit's not good enough to get into financing, but do you all invest in films as well?
No, I find the money. I don't invest the money. Not yet, at least.
Very good, very good. So now, for those who are watching, where can they be able to reach out to you in terms of getting your music?
Oh, well, it's available on all digital platforms now under the name Johnny Vegas. Yeah, that's my artist name. So, yeah, I have about 5 albums now out as we speak, English and Spanish. So, yeah, you can look it up on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Play. It's everywhere, Just Google it and you'll see it.
Early on in the show, I did a 5 points about it's either a stud or a dud. Remember that? Everybody remember that? You didn't forget that, right? Yeah. So my question to the ladies, if somebody came to your door and said his name was Johnny Vegas, would he be a stud or a dud?
Stud. I'll take it.
Very good. So Joe might change his name to Johnny Vegas.
I'm thinking about it.
Hey, I like that. Well, remember where you heard it first.
Very good. So now, what kind of advice would you give those young people who really want to get out there in this cold, dark world of being in the entertainment industry? What kind of advice?
Honestly, just don't take no for an answer, because everybody's going to tell you no. Believe in yourself. I know that's cliche, right? But that's really the 101. And, stay humble. Even if you get some success, regardless, just kind of stay humble because it keeps you hungry. It keeps you, chasing that goal. And then don't be afraid to reinvent yourself as well. I've been many things in my life, rapper, producer, actor, author, real estate agent, talent manager, all these things, but at the end of the day, it's adding value to the people that I'm around. So always be a service provider in that regard, and you'll get what you want.
Very interesting is that you're a very successful real estate mogul. Basically,
on my way.
Doing big things in terms of that. How's that been coming?
Right now, honestly, during the fire, the sales has been a little slow, but the renting has picked up a lot because a lot of the homeowners are, taking a while to get that insurance money back, and they're also getting lowballed, unfortunately. So it's putting them in a position where they're kind of just forced to sell and rent in the meantime. So that rental side has picked up a lot, but hopefully those insurance companies get their stuff together.
Very good. Now, where can people reach out to you to keep up what you got going on, or to contact you for financing their film or being able to buy some real estate?
Feel free to look me up on Instagram, spelled this way, Shayanne.Andujar, and I'm available at your request for the right price.
Very good. All right, so Shayanne, I did not let you off the hook. I want to hear some Spanish. Tell everybody we'll be right back right after this.
Nos vemos ahorita cuando esto terminas.
Show. I'm your host, Gerard, for a very special Saturday episode. We just had on our last segment the man himself, Mr. Shayanne Andujar. Did you enjoy him?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of information. He's a young guy doing big things, and he just proved he can speak Spanish, ladies and gentlemen. If anything else I learned, he can speak Spanish very well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman, he's been around for many years. You can see him on Casino. He is the one taking a bat to Joe Pesci. He's also was on Twin Peaks. The man has been around. He's a fireball, but he's still kicking hard. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Jed Mills on the Schwartz. Jed, quite a resume you have. You've been around for many years in acting. Tell us a little bit about your start.
My start. Well, the reason I wanted to be an actor was I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and we were very poor, 7 siblings altogether, and but we were able to get a TV, and my birth name was John Mills, and then people called me Jackie. Okay? So, but I would see John Mills all over the screen because of John Mills, the English actor, and I would fantasize that was me. I fantasize all the time. In fact, when I was walking down the street, I always had an attitude on a train. I'm sitting like a weird, I'm talking about 11 years old.
You had an attitude at 11 years old?
Well, I was acting.
Oh.
Yeah, I was acting, yeah. And it was probably very bad acting. But I always wanted to be an actor. And I loved watching people. I loved movies. I loved musicals. I loved film noir. That was one of my favorite genres. And so I just went along, I was in Catholic school. God forgive me for doing that. I actually, Catholic school was not good for me.
You got into it with the nuns?
Excuse me?
You got into it with the nuns in Catholic school?
I did, yeah, a couple of times. Yeah. I had 3 sisters older than me, Carol, Ann, and Lorraine, and they went to the same school. So they took from nobody. They're Brooklyn girls, and I was a Brooklyn boy. And I watched them do things that I never thought I would ever see. In fact, my sister, Ann, traded punches with a nun.
Now, when you're fighting a nun, there's no way you're going to win that way. There's no way you're going to win fighting a nun, so did she get kicked out or what?
Funny you should mention that. And I went through the 6th grade. I was about to go into the 7th grade. In the 6th grade, I did nothing. I sat there, and they would give you all these things to do, and I never did anything. And so the Sister Mary Scholastica, where she got that name, I have no idea. She certainly wasn't a saint. She always walked around like this with the thing on her face. And she always had a bad attitude. And so bad that the students, when she walked by, would spit on her from behind. And every time you did that, you got some credits from the other students, because they hated her. And every morning, she would, at 9 o'clock exactly, she would close the gate. And so she would have, anybody who was late, they couldn't come in. They had to wait for her. So she would finally come by, and she would bring them up to the 2nd floor where the office presided, and line us up like this actually, and go with the
ruler to the knuckles.
Right here. We'd try 1, 2, 1, 2. So 4 of them to each student. Right?
No, what was the point of that?
It was she got a kick out of it.
I went to Catholic school all my life, and I know those nuns can be, pretty feisty. Joe, did you go to Catholic school? You went to Catholic school, right?
I can't remember, Stu.
Now, I'm gonna ask you something now really quick, Jed.
There's an end to that story.
Okay, let's hear
Can I
it.
just do that?
Sure.
So anyhow, I'm there like this here, and the guy before me, she hits him, but she misses him in his left hand. And so now it's my turn, and I had my hand down. She said, "Put your other hand up." I said, "No, you already hit it." She said, "That didn't count. It was a mistake." So she hit me 2 more times on that hand, and then 2 more times on that. So that's the kind of justice that she showed. I'm sorry.
Very good. So now, but what led to you becoming this illustrious actor? For example, in Casino, we're gonna roll the footage in a moment, but in Casino, you know, that's one of the most popular movies, mafia movies out there, actually. Only second to Goodfellas. But tell us a little bit about how did you comprise that role, and did you enjoy taking the bat to Joe Pesci?
You really want to know? It wasn't enough. I didn't like him. He didn't like anybody. I'm not supposed to say, my mother said, Italiano, my mom was Italiano. She said, you say something about somebody, make sure you say something nice. Okay? And usually I do that, but Joe Pesci, I couldn't do that. Okay? He was not a good guy. And we'll get off that subject.
Off camera?
Huh?
On camera or off camera?
Didn't matter. Okay, once you know this, if you've seen the film, I'm pulling a safe out of the wall, right? But I have a hearing impairment, and Marty said, "Come here, I want to say something." He says, "Go ahead, get on set." I didn't understand what he said. Okay, so now because I do have a hearing impairment, so I'm not knowing what to do after he says action, and he says, "Okay, cut," and Pesci says, "Jesus Christ, you give him a line and he can't do it." Actually, I have a lot of lines before that. So, and the guy, by the way, how many people saw the film? Yeah. Okay. In the beginning, the guy with the pen in his neck, right? Okay. Yeah. That was what I was up for. But when he found out I'm an improviser, he wanted someone who could improvise. So I didn't get that role, but that guy worked one day, and I worked for 12 or 14 weeks, okay? Because he wanted an improviser. That guy, when he's down on the ground, Joe Pesci is kicking him. Not theater style, but mob style. He's kicking him.
So he's kicking him for real?
Yeah, three broken ribs and a broken jaw.
Wow.
On that guy, yes. So, okay, I don't really want to talk to him. If I loved him, I'd tell you a lot more. Okay?
Very good. Well, we're going to hold it right there. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to show the footage of actually Jed taking a bat to Joe Pesci. And I kind of see some extra excitement there when you take it in. But we'll let you decide for yourself. I'm Sherrod. We'll be right back right after this. They started off the group Home Masterminds, which is founded in July of 2024.
It was just always something that stuck with myself and my brother. Like, one day when we get the opportunity, this is what we're gonna do.
We took a trauma-informed approach. So training. We really try to create a loving, nurturing environment.
Where does the funding come from in order to keep you all afloat? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show for our Saturday conversation with the feisty Mr. Jed Miller. Now, Jed, I got to tell you something. Jed Mills. Now, let me correct you on something now. My daughter's watching this show. She's only 12 years old. So
where is she?
She's
Did I say anything bad so far?
Terrible. So that's what I said. So, you know, make sure she's a 12-year-old. So I want to come home and be like, hey, why was the man using that language? So, Mr. Mills,
I do personal teaching with young kids.
Really?
Yeah, I teach them all the words. This way you won't be so shocked.
Well, we all are. But anyway, the thing is this, though, Jed. Let's see the footage of what happened at this is the end of the casino. Something very interesting, Sammy. Now, viewer discretion advised. Take it away. Give him a round of applause. Now, which one were you in that scene?
Guy with the blue jacket, who was going, it's got a cramp or something. It was going, really going at it. But I gotta tell you this, okay? Joe Pesci looks at me, and he looks at the stunt guy, and he says, "This guy gonna hurt me? Foam bats. You couldn't hurt him if I tried." Okay, and the stunt guy said, "No, Jazz, he's a professional. Don't worry about it." So they all sat down, got down rather, laying on their face up. And we go after him and what thing, bang the bop up the thing, and then it's over. And Pesci and this guy who was holding something down off camera, that they're trying to get up. Neither one of them could get up. So the guy, who the other guy, big guy, tall, fat, big, he puts his hand on Joe Pesci's shoulder, pushes himself up, and pushes Pesci's shoulder out of what do you call that?
Dislocated?
Dislocated shoulder, yes. And that's the moment I knew there was a God.
Now, since Casino, your career kind of took off doing some big things as well. What was the other big thing you did after Casino? In the acting world?
My wife.
Julie, we don't have a sign for that one.
Right. I worked with Peter O'Toole. Is that what you're talking about?
No, but you know, that was a very popular film, Casino. And a lot of actors went on to do bigger and better things, like even, you know, Robert De Niro, you know, Joe Pesci, you know, all those. But where did your career go from there? Are you known for the guy that beat Joe Pesci to the back?
Well, I did a lot of small films. I didn't do anything as spectacular as a Casino, but I teach and I make people find out who they are through improvisation. And that gives me more joy and feeling of accomplishment than anything I do. But I did a play called Creeps. I don't know if you knew about that. It was about people with cerebral palsy. And I had to play cerebral palsy for 6 nights a week for about 12 nights, okay? And I had cerebral palsy like you would not believe it. My trick with it was I tried not to have cerebral palsy. Everybody else was trying to have those cerebral palsy. And I got, can I brag a little bit?
Go ahead.
Okay, I got more great reviews from the critics than I've ever seen for an actor before. Because if you want, I'll do my character for you.
Yeah, let's see real quick. Give him a round of applause, let's see what he got.
Get together, girlfriend. I want to be carbon.
So Jed, there's many people who may want to use your services to help them with improvisation as well. Where can they reach out to you?
JedMills@yahoo.com. And by the way, anybody from this class here, I will give it to you for 1/3 the price. If you get together and come up with 8 or 10 people, we'll get started pronto. And I get a little story. So I do based on Viola Spolin. How many people know Viola Spolin? The mother of improvisation. And so this one guy takes my workshop. He says, "You really do Viola Spolin?" I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Okay." So the first day he comes up to me and he says, "That's not Viola Spolin. I've taken Viola Spolin, and that's not Viola. I want my money back." The deal was, if you do the whole workshop, I'll give you your money back if you've learned nothing. So he didn't do it. He said, one day, I said, "Well, you didn't do the whole workshop." He said, "But you don't do it. You don't do it for me." So go, moving forward a bit, at the end of the workshop, he comes to see the show, because at the end of the workshop, we do a performance. And everybody is then, by that time, an improviser. And he comes up to me in the show. He paid a ticket to get in to see the show. He says, "You do Viola Spolin."
Very good, very good. Well, give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. We really appreciate that. Wonderful individual as well. And make sure you check out Round Up 8 People, and he give it to you for 1/3 of the price. We just don't know the price. Yes.
$17,000. I'm kidding. It's $9. $900.
A third of $900, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we're going to have a lady that is going to have you laughing with her political humor, and we're going to find out what she was doing before she was a comedian. The lovely Leah Wyman stopping by the Sherrod Show. You don't want to miss her. Right after. You're wearing a shirt, actually, that's called Make America Italian Again. What's that all about? Now, Mike, tell us a little bit about what Cobra Kai...
You just call me Mike, I love it, because I'm just that good.
When I was 5, and I was just like, I didn't know what it meant, but I was like, I know if I say this, it's gonna be funny. So I was just like, a mom bounces checks.
Kanan, I'm doing an interview here. You look at Sean Kanan. He's on TV all the time. I'm on TV for 1 second.
All right, I want to thank the Sherrod Show for having me today. This is great. And it's so awesome seeing you all here. Thank you for coming. I'm going to tell you some stuff about me. I did that genetic test once. I think with 33andMe. No, it's 23andMe. We all have 23 chromosomes. Yeah, I failed the test. But I don't know if any of you have done it, but you spit in a cup and they run it through the lab and tell you about like all the relatives out there you never knew you didn't care about. Yeah, a lot of fun. Here's what they don't tell you about that, folks, in case you ever want to do it. It's a huge cup. Oh, it's huge. They have no mercy. You have to fill it all the way with spit. Yeah, you have to really want to know about your family. You better hope you like them. Hope it's worth it. I don't know. For me, I'm still deciding. But so I'm spitting. It's getting full. It's full. I'm exhausted, right? I'm thirsty. I'm dehydrated. It's not fun. So I finally just put in some of my dog spit. Why not, right? I want to see what's going to happen. So I just chipped it off. I got the results back yesterday. I did, yeah. They said, you're a real bitch. I was like, oh, it's like they know me so well. I did it again. I put in some of my cat's saliva. And they said, you're just a great big... Well, anyway, we won't go there. But, so I have 2 cats. Okay, I'm one of those people, yeah. One of them is 7 pounds, and one of them is 25 pounds. Wow. Right? So it's like they come in 2 sizes, size small and size 2XL. She's a plus size gal, nothing wrong with that. But you know what, there's only one problem with a cat that size. She's a huge belly. So she can't reach her butt to lick it clean. Now that's important for cats. That's a big part of the grooming. They have to lick themselves there. That's how they clean up. And she can't reach. Her belly is in the way, literally. She cannot lick her butt. So the vet said I have to do it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't lick it. I use a washcloth. Most of the time. I mean, like if I have one handy, Oh, so I'm the only one here who's ever looked at one. Moving on. So I'm Jewish. I figure I'm in LA, I can say that, it's safe, we're good. Yeah. In case that explains anything, I don't know why. But I found out kind of recently, there's a plant called the Wandering Jew. Not making that one up, you can Google it after the show. There's a plant, it's called the Wandering Jew, never heard of it. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, if you're a better Jew than I am. But it's LA, there may be some good Jews out here, wouldn't surprise me at all. But it's true, there's a plant, they call it a Wandering Jew. I just wonder, like, what happens if you smoke it? Do you feel guilty? Yeah. All right, but that's about all for me. You guys have been so fun to talk to.
Give it up for the lovely Leah Wyman. Come on, have a seat. Come on. Oh my goodness. You are hilarious.
Thank you very much.
I hope you're just making a thing up about licking the cat. No, I just hope that part.
Well, we'll never know, will we?
No. But you know what? It's amazing because you've been doing it for so long, but it's amazing that you started off in politics?
I did. I started off on the dark side. Yeah, I worked for politicians. I was their staff, like the ones who do all the work and make sure they get all the credit, which they should be, of course. But yeah, I started off in that world. And then from there started writing political jokes. They kind of write themselves in that world, but started writing about people I knew and worked with and changed the names to protect the guilty. Yeah.
Now, do you find a lot of sense of humor in that profession of being in politics?
You kind of have to have a sense of humor because it gets so ugly. Like all the stuff you hear about them being, you know, bad people and corrupt, and most of it's true. You know, not all of it. I mean, there's some wonderful people, but you know, there's some that, you know, not as much. But you know, it's a full contact sport, actually. So you have to have a sense of humor.
Now, did you like say one day I have enough? That's it. I just want to be in comedy.
No, I kind of moved on, kind of switched fields a little bit in terms of my day job, but still just kept right on with the comedy. You know, still something I'm doing. It's my passion, doing, you know, several times a week, and I just think you can rest when you're dead. So I have two careers, is kind of how I see it.
Now, you're really good at what you do.
Well, thank you.
And the thing is that you're funny, but comedy is an art. I mean,
It is, very
the
much
first
so.
day you decided I'm gonna leave politics and go up there and be a comedian, was that a tough thing to do?
Not so much, because I had been in theater and acting, you know, before then, and improv. I still am on an improv team, so comedy kind of seemed like the next step, doing stand-up. But it was actually scary at first, because, you know, you're up there all by yourself. So if something goes wrong, you can't blame it on anybody else like you would with theater or improv. It's all you. And I remember my very first show, I only invited one friend, and she was someone I knew through the political world. I knew her. She worked for one of the consulates. I won't say which one. I don't want to bring on any controversy. But she worked for one of the consulates, and I said, you're the only person I'm bringing. I hope you feel honored. It's just you. And yeah, and it went fine. But yeah, I mean, that very first show was a little hard, because like, oh, I'm up here on stage, and no one's up here with me. So it's that realization.
Now, you're very busy, so what is your next set that we can come out to?
Next weekend, the 21st, I have a show in Orange County. So, yeah, I'd be happy to.
Now, you frequent the Comedy Store, is that correct?
Yes.
You're very good. Very
Well,
good.
thank you.
Very talented. Now, where can people who reach out to you who are watching right now?
On Instagram, on Leah Wyman Comedy. Facebook, I have a website, leahwyman.com, and when I post my shows, it kind of goes to all three automatically. Nice little technology set up there. So, and a lot of times I can get people comped, you know, so.
Very good. I'm coming to one of your shows. Now
Wonderful.
are they like this, or they go darker?
Darker.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's no family rating, there's no family friendly. Get a babysitter, is what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not unless you want your children to learn a few new words that you can talk about on the way home. I've done that before. People brought kids, and I just tell them, you know what, the drive home is going to be fun. I just say, you know, ask your mommy about this, you know, next time grandma's over. Be good for Thanksgiving dinner, bring up this word, see what happens.
Very good.
Yeah.
Man, we really appreciate you stopping by on the show. Did we enjoy her? Ladies and gentlemen, we come back, we're going to have this gentleman. He's doing a very special thing for the children. And he's going to be talking about what he does as well and what he has upcoming. You don't want to miss it. The man named Nadeem is going to stop by. One of our sponsors of the Sherrod Show. You don't want to miss it right after this. We have one guest and 3 contestants. So Murphy, tell us a little bit about your experiences on the dating scene in LA. What do you look for your man in terms of expectations?
The dating scene in LA is treacherous, honestly. There's a lot of people who you try to get a read on them, and then they just end up being something completely different.
Let's get started! To the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod. Did we have a wonderful time with the guests? My goodness. We had Sean Kanan, for those who first time meeting. Did we enjoy Sean Kanan?
Oh, yeah.
Then we had Shayanne Andujar, the serial entrepreneur. We enjoyed him as well. I guess he had to leave, but then we enjoyed Shayanne stopping by.
Oh, yeah.
Then we had the feisty Jed Mills. My goodness, this man, you know, in his younger days, I bet he can swing a bat like Babe Ruth. That man was no joke. I really appreciate him. Give him a round of applause. And then we had the beautiful and the lovely Leah Wyman. My goodness, she's hilarious. She was built for this. You can tell she was absolutely built to be a comedian. She was hilarious. Isn't that right? As well. And then also, check out this book here that is right here. This is an incredible book. This gentleman was actually on the show, Mr. Greg Stallworth. He wrote a book about being a whistleblower. A whistleblower is someone who sees things that's not going right in the company, and they basically blow the whistle. And this book is incredible. It's a bestseller. You want to definitely check it out. Greg Stallworth, he was on the show. Check out the episode on the YouTube channel as well. And then also speaking of that, we have a gentleman here to my right. He's going to be coming out in a moment. He's doing something really incredible for the kids, and he's going to talk about it. It's going to be premiering very soon. Give it up for the man himself, Nadine. Come on out. Come on, have a seat here as well. Let's put that logo back up there for us, Philly. And now, Nadine, welcome to the show. It's so excited to have you on. You're doing something absolutely incredible for the kids. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, so hey, thanks for letting me be on the show. It's been great being here in person. I've been following this guy for a really long time, and what he's doing to the community, to the whole environment is incredible. And he's done a lot of supporting and gave me the right kind of a background. So we began with a question. Are the educational systems today, schools, colleges, universities, are they serving our kids well or not? Obviously, lots of questions. We can go about the STEM and whether they can find the right jobs or not. This is quite related to that. But the answer is no. So we came up with this question. Both my parents are college professors, and that background, my educational background as well, executive management background as well. So there's a gap. I've been consulting for some of the largest Fortune 1000 companies and in my professional world, and we're seeing the people who are coming into our environment and how ill-prepared they are for the real job, for the real world. So we began with a development program on how to train them. If you want to be the best doctor, for example, there's no shortcut. You've got to be the best doctor. You've got to be the most skilled in that, the best engineer, the best software developer, the best technician, the best plumber, the best electrician. You've got to be the best in what you do. But in addition to that, you've got to be really good at a lot of other skills also. Those are the areas that we really focus on with the leadership development program. It's called Symphion.com. We did a soft launch a couple of years ago during right when we were coming out of the COVID environment. We were mostly in person, working with lots of school districts and colleges in person. That's where Shayanne and I, when we first connected, he said, you got to go virtual, you got to go global. The program that you're offering, he sees the value in that, but he's saying you got to go create a virtual environment where people could come in from all over the world and sort of be a part of your system. So we are launching through books, through digital courses, through live webinars. We bring experts on the platform. We give you the right training, the right environment. It's a year-long program, and through the program, we take you through how to find a job, how to develop the right skills, how to become a leader, relationship management, all aspects of your life really to get you to succeed. We've got a summer boot camp coming up as well. We'd love to invite you to. In fact, I'm working with him, with his team, come up with a special program like buy one get one free kind of a program for the membership, for the followers of this program. It's an incredible program, but I think I couldn't have done it without the support from not just from Sharad obviously, but from a lot of people who've been supporting us. Lots of colleges we've been working with, lots of the counselors we've been working with. They're giving us a lot of feedback, a lot of thoughts in terms of what's missing out there. So we're trying to fill the gap.
Now, the official launch date is July 7th?
That's right. The first boot camp goes live on July 7th, and we are very, very excited about the program. It's a 3-week program. The way it works is Monday through Friday, 3 hours a day, 3 hours a day. We'll put you before a camera. There's a live session, a lot of very interactive engagement, game playing, and you watch a video. There's a comment between 8 to 12 people. It's not a huge group, so your voice will not get lost. Come and be a part of that. So your students, we are targeting mostly college and high school students. But for them to come and be a part of that and walk away with something tangible. When we did, just the last thing, if I could maybe mention that, when we began this program a couple of years ago, we do the polling before students coming, like an assessment, and then before, during, and after. So one question that I really would want to highlight is, think about the question, how prepared are you to face the real world out there? Knowing all the challenges, all the unknowns that you'll have to deal with, do you have the right resources, the right training, the right know-how on how to do that? How prepared are you? That's the question we asked. And about between 35 to 42% of the people said we are prepared. On a scale from 1 to 5, 4 or a 5, 35 to 42% says we are that. At the end of the show, 87%. So that's just a 3-week duration. That's how much value they got from the program. It's not just the tangible value, but the intangible, the confidence that you feel.
Now, Nadine, they're asking a begging question. I know, where can they reach out to you? Because we're short on time, but where can we reach out to you to be able to connect with you for this?
It's Symphion.com, and we'll make some coupons available. We'll give them to Sharad's team. They'll put them in the show notes as well. Special coupon that we'll only develop for this program. And it's a 3-week long training boot camp. And then come and then we'll throw in the whole annual membership as well for a part of this program and come and be a part of this. Any graduate who's graduating this year, we'll give them a special discount, special promotion as well. We really want them to succeed. And through this partnership, through all the audience here, through everyone who's watching here, we really want you to be a part of the program, and we'll help you get there.
Thank you, Nadine. You've got our full support as well. And thank you all for our guests, everyone who came out, as well as my wonderful team. We have Joe Savage. He is the executive producer. Give him a round of applause. Santos doing holding our signs and being very active, making sure I stay hydrated. Give her a round of applause.
More.
Then we have Philly McCauley working the monitor as well. Give him a round of applause. First time. You don't get it right. And it's the first time that he did a great job as well as Nevaeh. Give her a round of applause. And Joe Brown. Boy, what a name. That's like a baseball player's name. Joe Brown working the camera. Give him a round of applause. As well as Cam taking our pictures with his Incredible Hulk shirt on. Thank you so much. Thank you, lovely audience. We thank you so much. Join us on our next episode on June 28th. We have the lovely Barbara Streisand coming out. Right here. And then also we have some great guests coming as well. And then also stay at the end. We have a raffle. We're raffling off some great things for the Sherrod Show. Give a lovely donation or so, and you can get a nice gift as well. All this goes to the fight for the cure for lupus. So, ladies and gentlemen, always remember in our next episode, if the best way to get back on your feet is to miss 3 car payments. See you next time.